I got the episodes mixed up. I'm pretty sure this is episode 8. And then the next one, the last episode was 7. And I think I said 6. So apologies for that. But, my name's Fox. And I think I'm Fox. This is My Hero Academia Vigilantes. And this is episode, I just said it, 8. Which... the more we learn... I really like Knuckle Duster. But also, like, I like him... I really like Knuckle Duster. And also, like, everything we're slowly kind of learning about him. Because it turns out he's not Bruce Wayne Batman. He's Flashpoint Batman. Which, if you don't know about Flashpoint Batman, kind of go watch it. Go watch Flashpoint, read the book, or whatever. But pretty much, that is Batman, who is not Bruce Wayne, but Thomas Wayne, after his son and after Bruce is killed. And his wife kind of goes a little nuts. This is kind of that. Actually, it's very much like that. It's just the separate people are killed, and anyways, we'll get to that. That's the next episode. But pretty much, not Josuke, not Jotaro Wolverine, but the other Wolverine that actually has metal claws, not bats. He went to a school and he's asking about the Queen Bee. He's asking about Queen Bee, and like everyone's like, like all the girls like, ew, is he trying to pick up girls or something here out of school? Eventually, he gets kind of chased off by like the teachers, but the Queen Bee's friends actually see her, and one of them disappears after the other one said like that she was gonna try to message Queen Bee, but then she's like, wait, where'd you go? And pretty much that friend that disappeared told Wolverine, hey, come here, I can tell you something about her. And he's like, what? And then she lifts up her skirt, which I was like, okay. And then bees come out, which I'm like, no. But bees come out of her and start attacking him. He activates like a pesticide bomb, kind of smokes that out, jumps out. His friends come to his rescue, one of them burning like a bunch of the bees and saving him. And pretty much it turns out that Wolverine is actually working with Knuckle Duster, who Knuckle Duster is actually at the hospital with a lady, which it turns out is his wife. And she apparently has some kind of mental issues going on right now where she doesn't really seem to register anything. The people, what is it? I'm trying to think. The doctors, god damn it. How do I have too many minutes to remember doctors? The doctors then telling him like it doesn't look good and all this stuff, and like he kind of just zones out because he just doesn't, I guess, actually listen to it, or it's just like we don't really necessarily need to know, but like just know like he's in a bad spot. And pretty much that's when Wolverine pops up later when he's leaving, and Wolverine goes like, your name isn't Kuro whatever the hell. He's like, no, it's not. That card is literally just there for you to get in contact with me. You don't need to know about my personal life. And pretty much he even brings, like, he tells, like, he gets the info about Killer Queen Bee and all that stuff. And Wolverine even tells him, like, so are you going to tell your partners about this? You should probably inform them. And he's like, my partners? And he's like, yeah, the other two, the Crawler and the Pop. And he's like, they're not my partners. They're pretty much he said that they're his distraction. And they'll be out there, doing whatever, making noise, being flashy while he gets the actual work done. And, like, you do see, like, this dude, like, is also, like, working out. I think that might be the next episode, but I'm getting it mixed up because I watched both of them back to back. And I could probably do both episodes together. I'll just do both episodes together. You see him working out, fighting, hitting the fighting bag. You see him doing, like, lifts on the barbell pull-ups, but with like these heavy weights, like the chains and big tires on them. It's nuts. And pretty much, like, while this is all going on, Pop and Koichi are like Pop is getting hired, I guess, to do a show on top of a building thing. Which is also, I forgot to mention, I'm pretty sure it was this episode that that a giant crab that shoots jets out of like the back of its shell, a kaiju, started flying around and Captain Celebrity was fighting it. I don't know if this is gonna lead to some other bullshit like that's gonna happen later, like this is actually a plot line. But like literally last episode, if it was last episode, no, 2 episodes ago, we had Godzilla attack. And in this one, we have, like, a Gamera, like, crab. And then in the next episode is freaking Mothra, but as, like, the worm thing. So, yeah, I was like, okay. And also, yeah, I'm just gonna do the 2 episodes together. Because it's I think both episodes fit together extremely well. But, so, while that's going on, Kaiju... Oh, yeah, and a Kaiju turtle villain. Is it? Wait, Kaiju or was it... Wolverine, Cyclops are part of Captain Celebrity's new guy posse. Maybe it was a kaiju. Maybe there was just a straight Gamera turtle one. I can't remember actually. But yeah, like there's just like 4 different kaijus in the last like 5 episodes. I was like, what the hell? I'm like, what the hell? Where are the kaijus coming from? You're also not helping Japan's the stereotype of Japan being attacked by giant monsters all the time. At least in like movies and stuff. But yeah, but pretty much, Pop is getting, because of Godzilla attack a few episodes ago, which, the Godzilla attack has had, like, more impact on, like, multiple storylines than I would imagine. Like, it affected the bus, the line with the bus, since that was the highway they went on, and then, like, it affected this department store that it destroyed part of, and now it's, like, being restored, and they want Pop as well as a bunch of indie performers to like have like kind of a show on stage while people kind of go to shop or have little snacks and everything. I like this over garden kind of thing, and I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, all right, which I'm like, that's interesting. But yeah, so that's how that's also Koichi's trying to be supportive. Pop is extremely nervous. Knuckles shows that he's very much dad coded because Koichi has no idea what to say to Pop that won't get him punched, and he asked Knuckle, and Knuckle just kind of goes up there and goes, "Don't worry, you're gonna be great." And he also takes his cause I saw this online before I ever watched the episode. He took the paper and he kind of baps her on the head. And then he goes, boop. In the English dub. Let me rephrase that. In the English dub, he goes, boop. And then he says, you'll do great. And it's like, that was just something the dude improvised in the recording booth. I'm like, God, I love that. He just goes, boop. And I'm like, God. Yeah, he's very dad-coded, even though he's using these 2 as freaking, as pretty much, decoys. Which is like, oh shit, like, it's not a good thing, but, like, it is in a sense of, like, it's very interesting, because Knuckle very much seemed like he was almost kind of not one note, like, he was interesting, and, like, he obviously, it does seem like he is what it is to be a hero, again, like, the idea of stepping over that line and all that stuff, but on the same side of that, it is showing that he is, like, a bit of a darker character, and I think really does border along the lines of he possibly could become a villain if pushed far enough. Like, legitimately, I don't know where Knuckles is gonna kind of go with this. Like, it could definitely go along the lines of Koichi and Pop kind of show him, like, try to lead him away from, because it is revenge. We do know that. It is revenge as well as another thing that it's kind of going on here for him. And, like, it is a question, I think, of, I don't know if Knuckle Duster will make it, because it wouldn't surprise me if, like, Knuckle trying to search for revenge is going to get him killed. And then, like, Koichi and Pop will literally try to either avenge him, or maybe Koichi and Pop are going to try to lead him away from the idea of revenge. But it's kind of a toss-up. And, like, again, I'm not... we already passed how far I've read in the mangas, and I honestly don't want to read much more on this, because there are some twists in this that I was like, oh, shit! Like, I didn't realize. But, yeah, so... But yeah, so, like, Pop and them, Koichi eventually calls up Lois, and Lois kind of helps set up everything, gets Captain Celebrities, like, endorsements to kind of help the department store also. Pretty much she's making, like, the show an actual big show, where it was just going to be, like, kind of like when you go to a place and it's, like, a little stage, and you know, there's just some people playing on stage, and it's not really, like, that big of a thing. This is, like, they are making it a big thing. And there's a bunch of fun things with, like, eventually, like, when Pop, and pretty much they're turning, instead of it just being separate shows, it's all one big show. Like, they have these Mad Hatter guys who are going to be the musicians, who are like, we're too cool, we should be working for the man. And then we have these breakdancers who are like, we don't need costumes, our costumes are our dance. And then they see each other and they're like, I'm in love with you. And then suddenly the breakdancer girl's like, I'm okay looking pretty for him. And he's like, I really like her. I'm okay working for the man as long as I get to work with her. And then there's these two twin idols who are like the big stuck up kind of assholes. But pretty much like are these two sides, like, we're better singers and all that stuff. But they also have a smaller fan base and group compared to Pop, who has a much bigger fan base and a bit more flashier. So they were going to have her, Pop in the middle, and then two singers on the sides. But during, like, the training, which is funny because the dancers have the twin singers go through, like, physical training, while Pop's whole training is literally, you know, singing the theme song to the department store. And like, it's funny too, because like, Koichi said, like, you can use my apartment as a practice place. And eventually, like, towards the end of the day, he's like, all right, it's time to all right, I kind of got to go to sleep. And she's like, no, you're my audience. I'm like, God, she's adorable. But, and then the twin jerks, one of them sprained their ankle during, like, the whole big physical training. And pretty much later on, just to sum up this all real quick, pretty much then, like, Pop gives up being the center to allow the one with her ankle to be in the center. Her sister will be moving back and forth, while Pop will be jumping up over the crowd and singing, while obviously everyone else is just doing backup dancing or, you know, playing their instruments. Also, there's a whole thing where Koichi keeps, like, the Mad Hatter leader is like, I have to hold back and not say how much I love this girl's haircut or her outfit. And then Koichi comes in going, well, you just shoved off, like, a lot of hair. And then, like, she sees her in the costume. He's like, wow, like, I guess you really just need, anyone can look good in good clothing. And it's like, Jesus Christ, man. Oh, you're gonna get killed by these people. But yeah, anyways, and then also, like, and, like, they're using, like, Captain Celebrity's, like, money, pretty much, to fund all this, to give him a better, oh, a second. He's gonna give him, like, a better, sorry, I gotta lower my whistle, to give them, like, you know, the money to have, like, all the different costumes and all this stuff. But then you have, like, other hero. Eventually, like, the night of, you have other heroes pop up, like President Mike is there to be, like, the DJ kind of thing to announce people. Midnight pops up. They said like none of the big guys are there. But also, while this is all going on, there is the main story, which I will say, like, one of the reasons I stopped for, like, I think, like, 2 seasons of the original My Hero was a little bit of the summer festival arc, where it was just kind of like, I don't know, it wasn't that interesting to me. Mind you, the payoff for that arc is amazing, because holy shit did I scream when La Brava and Gentle popped up in the finale of the last season. Like, holy shit. But I will say it was just kind of like, I'm like, okay, I'm okay with it. This one actually kind of like, because it seems like it's like only going to be like two to three episodes. Like the 2 episodes like the build up kind of, and then the 3rd episode is the massive payoff, which is going to be the big show and everything. But while that's all going on, there's the A plot, or I guess it's technically the B plot, but like the episode, I think episode 8, it ends with Knuckle finding Queen Bee in the street, which Queen Bee also friend comes like, do you remember where this girl is? And he's like, nope, no idea. And also, Queen Bee earlier in the episode, or the last episode, I believe, she says, Mom, Dad, I'm home. She gets sits down and watches TV, and there's bees all over, and her mom and dad's bodies are her right and left. And she also talks about, like, maybe I should, like, she also thinks like, oh, maybe I should go to that what was it? To that show thing. And then like she gets a shock in her head. She's like, no, I don't want to do that. But then she's like, but I really do though. Like there's something else in there, and it's like, that's weird. Like, it's like is All For One like controlling her somehow? Which might be the case, I'm not entirely sure. But like I was wondering what that like was. And then like we have this whole plot thing where eventually Knuckle finds her and starts chasing her. Also, I forgot to mention, Eraserhead was also going to the show at one point, but then it turns out Queen Bee, to like kind of just cause a ruckus and disturbance, released the Eel Cork fan kid, and like apparently I'm guessing has just been injecting him constantly with Trigger to the point where it looks like his quirk of like turning into a giant eel is now permanent. Because even like Eraserhead, who's like, God, I wish a villain would attack so I don't have to go to this stupid show. Like, eventually when that happens, he's like, oh, thank you, whoever was listening. Goes to fight, uses his eraser eyes to stop him. But the eel doesn't change back. He's like, wait, he's supposed to look like this? Which is such a great way of like, that's just good writing, I think. Because for Eraserhead, he's like, oh, so I guess he always looked like this. But for you and me and everyone else who watched the show, it's like, oh shit, he's stuck like that. Like, we know that's not how he was supposed to look. We know that's not how his quirk originally was. But yeah, he gets wrapped up in bandages. And eventually it turns out his quirk isn't just eel, but it's electric eel, and he like burns through the bandages, I believe. Eventually they're able to stop him, but yeah, but then the eel form is permanent now. Let's see if I said happy that there's a villain, pressing my looking at all my notes. But yeah, and then Queen Bee is standing on top of a building watching this, and I think it's, or no, he doesn't stop the villain. I think the villain is still moving. I think it busted free. But then Queen Bee's like looking down, watching it, and then that's when Knuckle Duster comes up from behind. And let me see here. But then Knuckle Duster comes up from behind, and he talks. He's like, saying like, I'm bringing my daughter home, and she like, I don't know you, old man. And then because there's even a flashback where you see Queen Bee standing over the body of Knuckles' wife when, whatever happened to her happened. And Knuckle goes, I ain't talking to you, Bee user. I'm talking to my daughter. And I'm like, oh shit! I was like, oh shit! Queen Bee is Knuckle Duster's daughter, and she's being, in lack of a better term, possessed by this B Corp person. That's not their original body. And that's not I'm like, oh shit! And then Queen Bee shoots, and then Knuckle pulls out a big big ass fuck you taser. Like it's like a big ass like it's like almost like a gauntlet kind of thing. It goes over here and it has the two bits, and you see him rush up. And what is it? Queen Bee sends out a bee that flies out and it like explodes like a big explosion, and Queen Bee just goes like, "Ha! You can't get near me, old man. All of my bees have like explosions in them, and it'll like hurt you and stuff." And Knuckle just goes, "Yeah, no, that's your one time you do it. I'm guessing every time you kill one of those bees, it hurts you." And she's like, "Oh shit." He's like, "Yeah, you kind of just showed your hand, which means I can just beat the shit out." And like he goes to like he tries to hit her with the thing. Hit her with the taser, she dodges, and then he like, you know, left hooks her, and like I think she barely gets hit, like scrape, and she's like, "What the hell, man? I thought you were trying to hit me with the taser." He's like, "Really? I don't want to hit you with the taser. Like, if I hit you with this taser, it'll just stop my daughter's heart and, you know, kill her." And he's like, "Hitting you with my fist would be better because then I can just knock you out." And I'm just like, "Oh shit!" Like and then she's like, "You're crazy." And he's like, "Yeah, well." Just like, "Oh shit." And then she tries running off, and he's like, "Oh, you're not getting away that easy." And then, you know, Knuckles is not playing tag with his daughter, apparently. So I'm like, "Oh shit." I'm like, God, I did not see that twist coming. That, because I kind of guess like, oh, okay, like, well, obviously we see Knuckles' wife thing. I'm like, okay, so he's doing this for his wife then. But then he started talking about his daughter, and I'm like, okay, but like, who's his daughter? I didn't guess that, like, oh, his daughter was freaking Queen Bee. I'm like, oh shit. Or not really Queen Bee, it's another quirk inside of Queen Bee. And I'm guessing Queen Bee, and then like, but that also makes sense because like the friend that had all the bees inside of her, in a sense, was probably possessed also. I'm guessing whatever this quirk is, makes people's bodies into living hives. But that is a question of then, like, is Knuckles' daughter actually even alive still? Or is it just, like, her body being puppeted by this Queen Bee quirk? And, like, is it like this person breaks apart into multiple bees, and that's why, like, when you kill one bee, it hurts her because, like, that is a piece of her? Or is it along the lines of she is just a queen bee kind of thing? I think it is probably going to be along the lines that her body itself is all of the bees. But, not the bees! But yeah, like, but I was like, oh, shit. And then, you know, like, they're getting ready for their, little, you know, show up there, and it looks like it's gonna be awesome next episode. But God, the other plot too is also just like, oh shit, because you're just like, oh shit, like what is gonna happen? Like it's just Knuckle by himself now. It's not even like Koichi or Pop helping, and you know, on top of that, like he said, like they're just distractions. Like, is that even true? It probably is. I wouldn't put it past him for that being true. Like, he does have, like, at those points, he does have that Bruce Wayne, like, I don't care mentality a little bit, I feel. But then, like, now, like, him trying to save his daughter, too, and stop it, it's like, oh, shit. And also, One For All also told Queen Bee, like, don't, like, attack the show, because that'll cause way too much, that'll cast too much light on their plans. But, yeah. This episode was good. Like, these two episodes were amazing. Like, holy shit. There was so much, like, with, like, just the different reveals of Knuckles, like, very slowly peeling back, like, the layers of what makes him tick or who he is, and just showing, like, how smart he is. Because I think, like, in a, I don't know, lesser show, but if they really wanted to do it, in a lesser way they could have done was, like, when Knuckle walks into the like last episode, when he walks into the room with like Koichi's mom and Lois, so that he could still be that standoffish, you know, big bruiser kind of guy, but he's not. He's smart. He knows, like, okay, here's my business card. This is what we're here because it's part of our public service thing that I run, and your son allows us to use this as a somewhat of a meetup where we also able to learn different. They like it telling the truth without telling the full truth, but also like not really causing too much suspicion on themselves. Like, I don't think anyone would know that Knuckle, Koichi, or Pop were vigilantes if Koichi didn't show Lois his face when he was saving her, pretty much. And from there, like, I think that's how Lois learned, like, pretty much about all that, and like how Koichi's mom just kind of just knew her son. I feel like, but yeah, like there's those bits like that, where I feel like he is smart enough to be able to hide it extremely well. That's why, like, there are some times where, like, you have, like, characters who are, like, they are, like, kind of one note, and it's like, how did you survive until now? Knuckle definitely feels like that in the beginning a little bit. It's like, how did this crazy man survive this so long? But, like, the more we see of like, who he is actually and all that on top of it, we are seeing more of, like, oh, shit. He's a crazy, yeah, but he's also still smart. And I think that's just really interesting. That's just really cool. In any case, these episodes were badass. I like them a lot. Knuckle is badass. I hope at some point I want to get, like, the Rebel Tech or, like, whatever SH figure art, whatever, of Knuckle Duster if that's coming out, which I'm sure it is. Knuckle. It's really funny. Koichi is cool, don't get me wrong. But I do think though that, like, Koichi should get a new outfit though, which I hope Lois will, like, give him one by the end of, like, next episode, because, like, we gave everyone new outfits, and I asked them to put in a little one for you, and, like, give him, like, a new outfit. Like, not saying I don't want him to wear the All Might outfit, but, like, I do feel like I want to see him with his own suit thing again, like, even if it's like a reinterpretation of All Might's look, but with his own spin on it, like Deku here. I would love something like that. In any case, it is great. I liked it a lot. I love these episodes a lot. This, like, legitimately, like, I like the other My Hero ones, and, like, they definitely had those big, like, oh yeah moments, but I do feel like the biggest oh yeah moments I have, which I get it was all build up. But I feel like some of the biggest oh yeah moments came, like, in the very last season, like the last season of My Hero, and, like, some other thing like that, where I was like, yeah, like, I just kind of felt that. This feels like that writing, but at the very beginning of the series, and it's done and paced extremely well. I really, really love it. I do think My Hero is probably one of the better animes. Like, I love Dragon Ball Z, don't get me wrong, but there are some parts, we all know, there's parts where it drags, and then, like, there's parts where it drags because of whatever reason. A fight that's supposed to last 5 minutes is lasting, like, 7 or 8 episodes. Like, it's probably an over-exaggeration, but you get it. This I really do like. Like, everything blends together well, the story is coherent, the energy of each episode is very well paced. Like, I feel like in a lesser show, we would have, like, 2 to 3 episodes. Like, we would still be on the bus trying to save Lois, through whatever's going on. In this, no, we got everything kind of set up, all done, 1 episode, great. Any case, this is great. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. And which videos that I've done. Links are on my face. Subscription buttons are on there somewhere. Check out all my other videos. Hopefully enjoy this. And we will. See you later. I legit hope we'll see Crawler and Deku meet. And I do fear that I do think Knuckle Duster is probably gonna die. Because he feels like that character where he's eventually, like, he's the mentor character. There's a very high chance he's gonna die or something bad's gonna happen. It's a very big surprise. All Might isn't dead. Like, anyways. Also, if he died and All Might didn't, it kind of would also, like, balance out between the two characters. You know, Deku is a guy who, without quirk powers, and he learns to gain quirk powers. And Koichi actually had better quirk powers, but then was kind of pushed down to use them more weaker, and then, one user has a quirk, but technically didn't, and then one master had a quirk. Technically, it's not his original quirk, but he had a quirk, and any other master doesn't. So it'd be kind of a cool balance. But anyways,